Braid is the Managing Director of Cistermiser, a UK manufacturer of water and energy-saving management solutions for commercial and public sector washrooms. Richard has worked in the heating and hot water sector for the last 3 decades and spoke to ThisWeekinFM about water usage, sustainability, and Cistermiser's future plans. What role does water usage play in the drive towards net zero?
Over the last few years, electricity and gas has been the main things, but I think water, which we're predominantly involved in, although they're all mixed in together, has become that third commodity that people are really now starting to look at. It was almost, oh well, we save a little bit of water here and there, but now it's become much more of a key stakeholder influence in the marketplace. So I think that really demonstrates the impact that the environment and the current legislations are really starting to have on how we operate and ultimately how buildings are managed. Because it's electricity, as I said before, electricity and gas have been the main arenas because they've been more expensive and obviously getting more expensive. And water's been that, water's not too expensive, so it's okay. And now that's really starting to raise the profile. The other element is especially if it's not, when we talk about energy efficiency with gas and electricity, there is a link back to water because the water needs to be cleaned, it needs to be drained away. There's a huge amount of pumping, so it all adds to that CO2, to those CO2 levels, because we're using electricity and gas to move water away, to refine it, to clean it, and then to pump it back into the system. So there's a little bit of an ecosystem between all three of the energies really, and that's sort of where we're trying to come into that marketplace and demonstrate how we can help to solve some of it to a certain extent.
What do you see as the main issues for building managers in 2023?
I think one of the biggest issues, and it's probably a very overarching issue, is the cost of managing a building. As we said before, energy, water, people, the amenities that people are looking for, but also the sort of the health and safety within a building. There's lots of different agendas, there's lots of different arenas. COVID has probably changed the way that we all work in a building, and that's brought some real challenges to building owners because the occupancy levels are now so different. So, I read something the other day where the volume of people that don't go to work on a Monday and a Friday, they have a work from home. There's a crazy amount, not for me, but so there's huge differences in the occupancy, and then that's a challenge on how you manage your energy, forecasting your energy usage, forecasting the services and the amenities that you want within those buildings, especially with occupancy levels, certainly from in our arena and predominantly with water. It's how they service the buildings as well, and how they move water around the building, prevention, that sort of things. If there's less water being used, then they need to move that water around more, or they'll use less water. So I think it's a real overarching challenge to all building owners on how they can manage occupancy, how they can manage their energy coming in and out of the building, how they can even almost forecast what they're going to need if they're purchasing forward, and all that adds on to what their end of year utility bills and that side of things are.
Why is Cistermiser focusing on the FM area?
We're focusing on the arena because we're trying to obtain a greater influence in the arena from a business point of view, and look at how we can help to overcome some of the challenges that the building owners and the facilities managers and the facilities directors are encountering, as I said before, around energy efficiency, water usage. But also, I think we've seen a much greater influence from the FM teams over the last probably 3 or 4 years on how a building operates. They're not just keeping it going, they're having a much greater influence on what keeps it going. Even from a point of view of a small product that we do that can then help prevent leaks, all the way through to looking how we manage the whole water system from the tank all the way through to the taps in the building. And I think, as I said, the FM, people involved in FM are now having a much greater influence over the overall infrastructure of the building and its overall presence. And I think they're being challenged, rightly so probably, by their clients to say, I need to reduce my energy. The costs are going up, how can you help? And I think we're then being asked, how can you come and help us?
What are facilities managers looking for when specifying washroom products?
I think they're looking, or we believe that they're looking for a solutions offer, something that someone can come along and help them specify the right products in the right places that will then give them a return on investment by helping to identify the energy saving, the reduced water consumption, the occupancy levels, the water treatment that's required. And I think we can really help with that in terms of the product range that we offer and how we can help support the specification of the right products. And I think that's key, because it's quite easy to say, oh, we want that product there. But very often we come across, actually, have you thought about changing that and offering a solution to what potentially is a challenge or a problem that they have? And I think that's something that we hope we can offer in the marketplace.
What are Cistermiser's future plans for water saving?
Well, we've recently, or certainly over the last few years, because of increasing our involvement in the facilities side and trying to influence the facilities managers and develop and certainly promote our products, we've developed quite an extensive roadmap of product innovation for over the next 5 to 6 years, looking at technologies that we can potentially use to help aid and support the control and monitoring of water usage in the built environment, how we can reduce flow, how we can reduce usage through our products, even in forms of looking at how we can recycle water that we could then reuse, or recharging batteries that might be being used by using the flow of water. So lots of different types of technology, some of which may come to market, some of which we might find no, they won't, but we've got quite a roadmap of how we'd like to develop our product ranges to help support the challenges, because these challenges aren't going to go away. Water is still going to become scarcer and scarcer unless we all do something about it.